Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to be giving you a tour of my Pak Choi garden, and I'm going to be giving you some facts about Pak Choi. So here is my garden. As you can see, I have planted green onions along the perimeter of the garden. And the reason it is done like this is because initially I was having problems with insects eating down the Pak Choi, and because they do not like the scent of any member of the onion family, so I planted these green onions around the perimeter. And I've also been using garlic soaked in water for a day on the plants, and I find that it works very well. So Pak Choi is a cool weather crop. It likes temperature between 15 and 20, and it can tolerate light frost. The best time for planting Pak Choi is 4 to 6 weeks before the last frost, or planting it in the fall, early fall, so that you can harvest it before the frost starts. If you plant it indoor as a seedling, it can be transferred within 15 to 30 days after it has germinated. Now, Pak Choi has shallow roots, and so if you plant it in hot season like the summer, you want to give it lots of water. Mulching helps, and you want to ensure that the soil that it is planted in is loose and that it is rich in nutrients. It likes pH between 6.5 and 7. If it is below 6, then you need to add something like calcium carbonate or crushed eggshell to it to reduce the acidity. To speed up the growth, fertilize it with organic fertilizer like compost or worm castings or worm tea, and that will help speed up the growth. And one of the reasons why you want to speed up the growth is that in the hotter season, Pak Choi tends to want to go straight into seeding before you can actually harvest anything from it. So you want to fertilize it every 2 weeks so that it can grow faster. Now, the pests that bothers these plants, and this information applies to pretty much all members of the cabbage family, so your Chinese cabbage, your kale, your regular cabbage, all of them, this information applies to all of them. So the pests that bothers them are things like caterpillars, slugs, snails, aphids, down mildew and stuff like that. For the slugs and the caterpillar, you can use crushed eggshells. You can add coffee grounds and add ash, wood ash in the on top of the soil, and that will deter the snails and the caterpillar. For the aphids and stuff like that, you want to use garlic water. As I mentioned before, you can use soapy water, but if you're going to be using soapy water, I'd recommend that you do so a good while, maybe 3 weeks before you actually harvest your crop, because you don't want to be eating the soap. That will help for the aphids. These foods can actually be stir fried. You can steam it. You can make a salad with it. It can be eaten raw. You can actually use it to make a chip. You can dehydrate it and use it to make a powder. You can put it in your smoothie. You can do so many things with it. It's quite delicious. You can put it in your salad, if I haven't mentioned that before. So it's a very versatile crop, and you can steam it with your meat as well. I like to steam it with salted codfish. Oh, that is so delicious. There are a lot of birds around. They're just chirping away because here I have my Saskatoon berry trees and they just love it. We have to compete with them every year for the Saskatoon berries. And directly behind there, or next door, is a bird feeding tree. So they just love this region. And then there is a hole in my garage where they once had electrical wires coming out of, that tiny little hole there, and so they have made a nest in there. I don't mind that. Now I'm going to be showing you the difference between the Pak Choi bed that I just showed you and the Pak Choi that I have in this raised bed over here. Do you see how tiny these are? These were planted around 3 days after the ones in the other raised bed, and they get the same care. The only difference, in fact, this bed gets more water than the other one. The only difference, apart from watering more frequently over here, is that this is in the sun, so it requires more water, whereas the other bed is planted, as I showed you when I was talking about the birds. It is right next to my Saskatoon berry tree, so it provides a bit of a shade for them, and it's planted on the south side of the property, so it is cooler over there. This is to the north of the property, so the plants are getting more sunlight, so they don't grow as fast. Not that Pak Choi don't like sunlight, but it is getting more heat, and the Pak Choi is a cool weather plant, so the one that is in the cool shade is going to be doing better than these over here. So that is the only difference. Now, if you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't yet done so, subscribe to my channel. You can turn on your notification button, leave a comment in the section below. I hope you find this video beneficial, that you have learned something from it, and if you have friends who are new to gardening and would like to plant Pak Choi, you can share this video with them. That's it for now. I hope you have yourself a wonderful day.